Today we discuss my top TV picks at Costco. Up next.
I've seen things people wouldn't believe.
Hey, what's up guys? I'm Brian. This is Tech Therapy. Thank you so much for joining me as we discuss Costco. The reason I like Costco as an option for you guys is their selection, and more so than any other wholesale club, they have mid to high end from most of the major manufacturers. That has changed over the years. And other than the membership, which obviously costs money in itself, their return policy is among the best in the business, which is so important these days with technology. I also love the ability to drive right up to the store and take whatever's there home that day, even as large as 86-inch sizes. Now, only be covering what's in the physical location by me. They do change from store to store. They dictate what they want specifically in each location. There are other options online that aren't there in store, but I want to focus on the physical store. Someplace you can walk in right now and buy. Now, in terms of pricing, their pricing isn't anything special simply because each retailer has to adhere to a manufacturer's roadmap. They're not allowed to give you deals or separate prices. So any other retailer, whether it's a Best Buy, PC Richards, Amazon, will match what you find in Costco. Even our good friends at Value Electronics can match any price that you see in Costco. The advantage here is to be able to walk in right now with your membership, see the TV, take it, bring it home, and also have a much more generous return policy than anybody else in the business. Without further ado, here are my top TV picks at Costco. Thank you so much for watching. All right, guys, let's do it. Going to Costco. This one is in Milford, Connecticut. At the end of the video, I'll stop into Norwalk, Connecticut as well to show you some of the subtle differences in two different stores with two different TV departments. Now, the goal of this video is to show you the best TVs in the store. I'll show you the prices of them as well. We're going to start with the LG B4 at 83 inches, one of my favorite TVs. The B series has become one of the best TVs in LG's lineup. While it lacks MLA, it not trying to push that extra brightness, the B4 has this beautiful, rich color. It's not trying to wash itself out. Very good TV, 120 hertz, amazing gaming features, one of the best bargains in the store. We'll also show you the 77-inch as well. LG, one of the pioneers of WRGB OLEDs, do it better than anyone else. It has the flexibility of image. It can look very saturated as well as very natural. The B series has become one of my favorite TVs of all TVs, but in considering value, it's incredible, meaning you can grab yourself a much larger 83-inch B4, more so than perhaps even a C4 or a TV from another manufacturer. Speaking of the C4, you're looking at 144 hertz gaming, and you also have the pixel brightening technology with the C series over the B series. Love the C series. Very different sizes in different stores. The challenge is you are lacking the 83-inch. I also love that they have the separate kiosks from LG. They have this one and the larger one out front. So no 83-inch C4 here, but you do have a 55, 65, and 77. And then there are the prices as well as the LG kiosk. Why I love showing the LG kiosk is that many years ago with the C9, LG was the first to have these kiosks in store at the highest end. C4, another excellent TV, very reliable LG with their OLEDs. No G4 here. Now, panels like the G4 may be available online. I'm only showing you what is in store. Now, looking over at the QNED, I do like the QNED lineup. Very consistent. You do have a lot of good features. 120 hertz panel. However, I don't recommend really going below the QNEDs. Not just from LG, but from almost anybody you're going to see within this video. When you get to the 60 hertz panels, they're pretty much interchangeable, and I'll show you my recommendation for that towards the end of the video. But I would say LG QNED lineup, if you're going to try and get a value, but then primarily their OLEDs is where the best picture quality and the B series really mixes with that value. Another look at the QNED. A lot of options where the QNEDs are. Forgive that there's not much in terms of demo material on these TVs. Hard to make them look good as we transfer over to Sony. Moving over to one of the most popular TVs in Sony's lineup that was carried over from last year to this year is the Sony X90L. I've done many reviews and comparisons on the X90L. It is an LED full array local dimming. It's not a mini LED, but it is excellent and a tremendous value. We have several sizes of the X90L here. Panning over to the rest of the store, showing you a little bit of the Hisenses and the TCLs. I'll tell you a little bit why I don't recommend them so much in store a little bit later in the video as we move over to the Bravia 7. Now, the Bravia 7 is one of the most overlooked TVs this year. So the Bravia 9 was clearly the star. Bravia 9 also available online from Costco. The Bravia 7 is actually on its way to me for a second review at 75 inches. Excellent TV. Cognitive processor is no joke. Moving into the Bravia 8, now I have the A80J and the A80L. The Bravia 8 is the successor to those amazing TVs. There is some controversy surrounding the Bravia 8 right now. However, I'll tell you the picture quality from my review, it is excellent. If you love Sony and Sony processing, the Bravia 8 is definitely the WRGB OLED to choose, as the A95L is a QD OLED and quite expensive. I also have a 65-inch Bravia 8 from Value Electronics that I'll be doing a review and some comparisons on. So if you have questions regarding the Bravia 8, we'll have it on the channel very soon, and we'll also compare it to last year's 83-inch A80L. But the Bravia 8, one of the best TVs in the store here. Starting this year, it's been excellent to see Sony have most of their lineup, other than the Bravia 9, in store. The Bravia 9 is available on Costco's website. Bravia 7 X90L here. As we move on to the Bravia 3, this is their entry level 60 hertz panel. For this one, this is one of their most popular TVs. If you do want a good Sony value, or one of the only real Sony values that has good picture quality, the Bravia 3 is the way to go. I much rather see you go with the X90L or the next level up, as local dimming and 60 hertz tend to suffer at this level. But it's great to see it here, and again, a big seller for Sony. Moving into the larger sizes of the X90L, this is the TV that I recommend at 75 inches. It was excellent at 65 inches, and in my experience, the X90L does improve much more at larger sizes. Now, the 75 inch is definitely beefy, has the beefier stand. And what I love about Sony's approach with the X90L is the top of the line cognitive processor is on this model. Moving over to the 85 inch, this is my favorite size for the X90L, though there is a 98 inch. The 85 inch is my favorite, definitely beefy, ridiculous price for a TV of this magnitude. Again, full array local dimming. What I mentioned about the Bravia 3 and choosing those 60 hertz panels, at that level, really choose the manufacturer's signature that you like, meaning how they handle their presets and how you like their signature of picture quality. Sony known for being very accurate, and their new moniker of bringing cinema home. So if you like that signature, that's the model to get. But the X90L for me is the best kind of entry to mid-high that Sony offers, and I'm glad it's at Costco. What I also like, going back to the Bravia 3, is multiple sizes available. Back in the day when you would see these wholesale stores, sometimes you'd see only one size. So having these larger TVs here, going from 55, 65, even 75, up to 85 is excellent. Now that's not the same for every store. Other stores will only have perhaps one size. That's up to each independent store, not Costco as a whole. Each location that chooses what they want to have in their specific store. Now, while I'll show you these other models from LG, For me, really not going below the QNED lineup is most important. Kind of, you end up getting a lot of local dimming issues at this level. As we look back over, the 86-inch size is very attractive. The problem is a lot of these TVs don't get very bright. Reflection handling is not great. That's not just from LG, that's really from any TVs at this level. When you go to this level or to this price point, pick the manufacturer you like the best, be it Samsung, Sony, or LG. Moving over to the Samsung S90D, maybe the best TV in the store. The S90D is a quantum dot OLED. It's not the top of the line. That would be the S95D. However, the S90D's mixture of performance and value cannot be beat in 144 Hertz. We're going to do a little bit of dancing at this part of the video because I'm going to go from one price to another back to the LG. I'm going to show you how it is kind of to be in the store and price check for yourself. The S90CD is last year's virtually the exact same TV, also here, an even better value, best value in the store. In terms of upscaling and processing, I would still give the edge to the C4 and the Bravia 8. However, the mixture of performance, vibrancy, color, technology, almost impossible to beat the Samsung QD OLED. For me, the best TV overall and the best value in the store. Now the Q7, for me, the QN85 is about as low as I go in the Samsung's lineup. It's a mini LED. For me, the Q7, I kind of avoid because the performance drops off so much after the QN85. But it is here. They do have very interesting numbers. Now moving back to another S90, I'll show you the different sizes before I go back and forth between LG, Bravia, and the Bravia 8. Now this is where we're going to do some price comparisons in real time. Here we are looking at the S90D. Now the Crystal series next to it's one of the only entry levels that I recommend in this video. We look quickly at the LG B4 at 83 inches. Going back and forth price-wise. Now the Crystal series is the best entry-level TV from any of these manufacturers. Very popular model. Best picture quality, I'd imagine, at that price point, back to the S90. Now we're going to go back from price to price between the C4, B4, and the Bravia 8. But that Crystal series, usually they have a much larger size here. We'll get back to them later in the video. Now one quick look again at the 65-inch S90D before moving over to the LG B4. Now granted, different sizes, but compare the prices. Moving back to the 77-inch S90D, we're just at the 77-inch B4. And a little spin move back to the Bravia 8. This is where the price differences can be pretty vast. And then right over to the S90C, virtually the same TV that the S90D is. Best value here in the store. $12.99 for a quantum dot OLED. 65 inches, still a very good size. 144 Hertz. And though it's last year's, it's virtually the same as this year's S90D here. It's different than the S90D you can buy outside of Costco. They have specific models for these stores. It is definitely a carryover, same stand, same everything. But value-wise, look where it compares to the Bravia 7. Same size. You look at these prices and then realize as you pivot back, 83-inch B4 if you want the largest OLED. That's why I want to go back to it. I want to pivot right back to the B4 again at 77 inches. Let's keep these prices in your mind. Back to the S90D at 77. Back to the Bravia 8. So we're kind of doing some price matching together in real time versus just throwing them up on the screen. Then we'll do a little spin move again and check out the LG C4 directly behind me. These are the pricing that you want to do. You might be able to get a larger S90 or a larger B4 for these prices. Then it's worth to go with the larger OLED. OLEDs are excellent. Picture quality very even depending on what sizes you get. They continue, where mini LEDs definitely improve at larger sizes. OLEDs are very consistent. Now that we're done dancing with OLEDs, let's go to the best Samsung mini LED in the store, the QN85D. 85 and 75, the 85, or I should say the QN85D in general, excellent TV. This is actually on its way to me. Samsung is sending me one in for review. This is one of the TVs that every year almost looks better than the flagship. It always catches you off guard. Very colorful, excellent local dimming. Definitely can't wait to get this TV in the studio and compare it to the other mini LEDs that are out there. But definitely, this is where I recommend you go performance, picture quality, and value. Instead of the Q72, grab the QN85, get the mini LED, and you will not regret it. Excellent gaming features on this one as well. It's just not worth the performance drop from this one to the next one down. If you really need the value, get the Crystal series. But if you can spend a little more money, the 85 is definitely worth it. Now, going through some of these TVs, you're going to see me kind of look over at the TCLs and the Hisense. Now, while I really like these brands, their higher end TVs are so much better, be it the QM7, QM8, Hisense U8N, U7N. They're so much better that I'd rather you get them. Here at 60 Hertz, very affordable. You just pick whatever manufacturer you like, whatever remote you like. They actually look pretty good, but their next level up is leagues better in terms of processing and picture quality. You get those on Amazon, meaning they're so affordable, I would go with the higher end than these lower end models in the store. If they had the higher end U7N, U8N, QM8, QM7 in these stores, they would dominate. Now we're going to go into a different Costco to show you the differences in the TV department. Very subtle differences. Moving over to Norwalk. Now the TV department is smaller here, maybe slightly more refined. Where they're set up is completely different than it was in the last store. We're only going to spend a few minutes here. I'm just showing you the differences in the layout. Virtually the same TVs are here. Now, quickly with Costco, what's interesting is you're seeing a lot of options. However, they are set up by size, by row. So there's not as many TVs as you think. Now, we're going to sum up for me at the end of the video. I could have made this whole video 5 minutes, it's just not my style. My top picks, not in any particular order, from LG, you have the B4, 83 inches, and the other sizes. You have the C4, then you have the one QNED to choose from. That's LG. From Sony, you have the Bravia 7, the X90L, the Bravia 8, and to a lesser extent, the Bravia 3 if you really want value. From Samsung, you have the S90D or the S90C if you can find it, and then the QN85D, and then the Crystal series for your entry level. Also, Hisense and TCL, if you like those TVs and you want a 60 Hertz option that is very affordable, though I recommend going online and buying the higher end U7N, U8N, or the QM7 or QM8. Spend a couple minutes going through the store. As you see, different sizes, different areas of the store. And if you can't find the TV you like, I would definitely try to go to another Costco to see what's there. They're about 35 minutes from each other. If you're in Connecticut, there are several, but I don't know where they are. Look them up for yourself, by you. What I love about Costco is being able to bring the TV right back. And then even places where you have an 86-inch TV, I should say most retailers that have sizes that large, you have to have them sent home. Here you can actually bring them home. Also seeing the Bravia 8 here in its higher stance, narrow stance is pretty cool. You can see the different design on the Bravia 8 versus other OLEDs. So they're set up differently where the Bravia 8 was in a kiosk at the other store. Again, it's up to the actual Costco. Each individual store chooses. So what are your thoughts on buying from Costco? These are my top picks, though I did show you several other TVs. If you're a member, you do have a lot of leeway with your return policy. You can also get insurance through Costco. It doesn't cover burn-in, I believe, but you get an extra insurance if you like. But the return policy is no questions asked. 90 days. You can go beyond that, as I show you some of the different models. But all the TVs you saw that were in the other store are here, where, again, last year certain models weren't here. All right, guys, I'm Brian. This is Tech Therapy. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing. I will see you in the comments. Love you guys. Take care.
It's better to burn out than to fade away. There can be only one.